Hey guys, what's going on? Hermdo back with you, and we're going to look over the last few Pistons games. We're going to preview some of the upcoming games against the Spurs and the Thunder. We're also going to talk about Cade's MVP odds. But as of right now, the Pistons record is 42-13, first in the Eastern Conference, league leaders. Current win streak is 5. The Pistons are the hottest team in the NBA, boasting the league's second best defensive rating and net rating. They have successfully navigated a recent suspension drama to maintain their top spot in the East. Last game we played was Pistons at Chicago Bulls last night. The results were a win, 126-110. The game marked the return of Jalen Duren from a 2-game suspension, and he immediately made his presence felt in the paint. The game was tight in the first half. Pistons led by only 3, but Detroit blew it open in the third quarter, outscoring Chicago 44-26. Their dominance in the paint, 68 points, and transition offense overwhelmed a tanking Bulls squad. Key stats: points in paint, Detroit 68, Chicago 38. Third quarter score, Detroit 44, Chicago 26. Standout performances: Jalen Duren with 26 points and 13 rebounds, absolutely dominant. Cade Cunningham chipped in with 18 points, 13 assists, and 9 rebounds, near triple-double. Tobias Harris also had 18 points. The game before, the game on the 19th, Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks. This was the one that made Stephen A. Smith go crazy. There's a video on YouTube. It's like a 20-minute long video of Stephen A. Smith bitching about the New York Knicks and how good the Pistons and Cade Cunningham are. It's absolutely hilarious. I might link it down below. But anyways, the results of that were also a win, 126-111 in a statement game in Madison Square Garden. Cade Cunningham delivered an MVP caliber performance. Despite missing big men, Duren and Stewart were suspended. Detroit controlled the game with superior shooting and playmaking. The Knicks had no answer for Cunningham, who picked apart their defense at will. Cade Cunningham field goal percentage 50%, 17-34 shooting. Knicks three-point percentage held to a miserable 23%. Cade Cunningham with 42 points and 13 assists. He's the first player to have 40 points and at least 10 assists in Madison Square Garden since LeBron James in 2009. That's what I heard. Paul Reed also had 18 points, 7 rebounds, stepped up as the starting center. Asar Thompson chipped in with 10 points, 5 rebounds. Elite perimeter defense. Now we go back to before the All-Star break. We got Pistons at Toronto Raptors, February 11th. The results were a win, 113-95. This was the Paul Reed game with both starting centers suspended due to the altercation in Charlotte. Paul Reed started and played 32 minutes, providing immense energy. Detroit never trailed, showcasing their depth. The defense was suffocating, holding Toronto to under 100 points. Cade Cunningham plus 26, which was the highest on the team. Paul Reed efficiency, he was 10 for 17 on field goals. Cade Cunningham had 28 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds, he was 6 of 11 from three-point land. Paul Reed, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 steals. Huge two-way impact. Duncan Robinson also chipped in with 13 points and his efficient spacing. Now let's go over the Charlotte Hornets game. It was on February 9th. Results were a win. It was very chippy. It was 110-104 victory by the Pistons. A gritty physical win overshadowed by late-game altercation that resulted in suspensions for Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. Despite the chaos, Detroit executed down the stretch. Cade Cunningham took over the fourth quarter to seal the game against a feisty Hornets team led by Brandon Miller. Detroit out-executed Charlotte in the final 3 minutes. Cade Cunningham had 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. This guy gets close to a triple-double every freaking game. Duncan Robinson also had 18 points, provided crucial scoring punch. Brandon Miller had 24 points for the Hornets. Now, we're going back to the second to last New York Knicks game. The Pistons, I believe, have beaten the New York Knicks at 6 regular season games dating back to December 2024. But yeah, this was the real beatdown. The Pistons won 118-80, an absolute demolition at Little Caesars Arena. The Pistons held the Knicks just 80 points, one of their best defensive showings of the season. The game was effectively over by the third quarter, allowing the bench to get significant run. It snapped the Knicks' 8-game winning streak. Defensive rating held Knicks to 35% shooting from the field. Bench scoring, massive contribution from the reserves. Dennis Jenkins, for instance, has 18 points, career high night for the two-way player. Mikal Bridges had 19 points, only Nick with a pulse offensively. Team defense held Jalen Brunson to 4 of 20 for shooting. They're 5-0 in their last 5 games. Average margin of victory is 16.6 points. In that Stephen A. Smith video, the Pistons beat the Knicks 3 times this season. by a margin of 84 points. The Pistons absolutely own the Knicks. I know a lot of people were saying Knicks are going to come out of the East. Knicks are going to dominate the East. Knicks are going to be, finals bound, but doesn't look like it anymore. Pistons absolutely own them this year. Okay, let's get into Cade Cunningham MVP talk. As of February 22nd, today, Cade Cunningham has officially surged from a dark horse candidate into a legitimate top-tier contender for the NBA MVP award. Here's the breakdown of his current standing, betting odds, and the path to winning the trophy. The odds and rankings, current betting odds, plus 600 to plus 500 to plus 600, approximately 5 to 1 or 6 to 1. He is currently the third favorite to win the award. Just last week, he was sitting at plus 1,400. His odds slashed dramatically during the 42-point performance at Madison Square Garden, and the Pistons securing the best record in the East. NBA.com MVP ladder ranked number 4. He's climbing. ESPN straw poll ranked number 3 received one first place vote, the only player besides SGA and Wembanyama to steal a vote from the favorites. But let's look at the field right now. We got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder. Of course, he's the favorite at minus 145 odds. Vulnerable. He's currently out with an abdominal injury. Has missed 8 games. If he misses approximately 10 more, he becomes ineligible to 65-game rule. Nikola Jokic for Denver. He's plus 330, sliding, missed 16 straight games earlier in the season. His stats are undeniable, near triple-double, but the Nuggets are struggling to keep pace with the top seeds. Cade Cunningham, our boy Cade, at plus 500, surging, the healthiest of the top candidates, leading the number 1 team in the East. And then we got Luka Doncic rounding out the pack at plus 2,800, fading. He has missed 12 games, and the Lakers are lower in the standings. Everybody else is hurt or sick. Cade is staying healthy. We like to see Cade. That was a big concern his first couple seasons here. We were worried he wouldn't be available that much. People were concerned, but it's just he just keeps on going. The motorcade keeps on going. But let's look at the MVP case. Three specific factors. The best player in the team argument. The Pistons have the best record in the Eastern Conference and are neck and neck with OKC for the best record in the NBA. Historically, the MVP also goes to the engine of the league's winningest team. Availability, the 65-game rule. The biggest storyline in the 2026 race is attrition. SGA, Jokic, and Doncic have all missed significant time. Cade has played 48 of 54 games. If SGA fails to meet the 65-game threshold, Cade becomes the de facto favorite. The narrative shift, his performance at Madison Square Garden, 42 points, 13 assists, was a signature moment that national media voters look for. Declaring himself the MVP post-game created a headline that forces voters to pay attention. To win the award, Cade likely needs one of two things to happen. SGA misses more time. If Shai sits out another 2 weeks, he enters the danger zone for eligibility. Head-to-head dominance. You mentioned the upcoming schedule. The Pistons play the Thunder soon. That game will likely be viewed by the MVP title belt match. If Cade outplays SGA and Detroit wins, the odds could flip entirely. It is now a legitimate 3-man race if you believe the Pistons finish with the best overall record of the NBA. Cade at plus 600 is considered high value. But let's take a look at the upcoming games against some of the best teams in the West, the Thunder and the Spurs, with Victor Wembanyama and SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, very dangerous players, very dynamic teams. You're looking at a pivotal week. The Pistons are about to start a massive homestand that features both these teams in a back-to-back. The gauntlet week immediately upcoming, Detroit Pistons versus San Antonio Spurs. When? Tomorrow, February 23rd. At Little Caesars Arena, Ron Holland bobblehead night. Yay! A raucous home crowd is to be expected. While the Spurs are rebuilding, Victor Wembanyama is a defensive force that challenges Detroit's interior dominance. This is a trap game right before the big OKC matchup. Detroit needs to win this to keep their momentum. Now we got Detroit Pistons versus Oklahoma City Thunder. When? This Wednesday at 7:30, also Little Caesars Arena. Number 1 versus number 1. This is likely preview of the NBA Finals. It features the top team in the East versus the defending champs, top team in the West. As mentioned, this is the title belt game. If Shai Gilgeous-Alexander returns from his abdominal injury, it is a direct head-to-head for the MVP award. If he sits, Cade has a golden opportunity to dominate a Shai-less Thunder team and steal the narrative nationally on ESPN. Later season rematch, Detroit Pistons at San Antonio Spurs, March 5th at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Quick rematch is 10 days after the first meeting. This kicks off a tough Texas road trip. And then the next time the Pistons will see the Thunder, it's going to be Monday, March 30th at 8:30 p.m. at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The game could decide a home court advantage for the entire NBA playoffs. If the race for the league's best record is tight, this will be the most important game of the season. The next 72 hours are critical. You have the Spurs tomorrow and the Thunder on Wednesday. If Detroit sweeps this mini homestand, Cade's MVP odds likely shorten to plus 250 or better. So that's what we got. That's what we got. All sorts of good stuff. Very exciting time to be a Pistons fan. Really loving what I'm seeing from these guys lately. You slapped around the Knicks without Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart, beef stew. How could I forget Isaiah Stewart? But yeah, your two bigs were gone, and you still handed the Knicks a 15-point loss on their home turf. You should have seen Tracy Morgan was down there, Fat Joe was down there, John McEnroe, the old tennis player, he was down there. They looked like they were at a funeral. It was disastrous. Stephen A. Smith talked about it. That's a really funny video, but you gotta love Stephen A. Smith for the most part. But yeah, let's take a look at talk about Isaiah Stewart really quickly. His return is targeted for March 3rd versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Stewart is currently serving a 7-game suspension handed down by the NBA for his role in the altercation with the Charlotte Hornets on February 9th. He has served 3 games so far. The upcoming game against the Spurs will be game of 4. He'll miss both of this week's key matchups against the Spurs Monday and the Thunder Wednesday. Fellow center Jalen Duren has finished his serving his shorter 2-game suspension, and obviously had 26 points last night. He looks good. But yeah, yeah, that's gonna do it for me. That's all I got for you guys for right now. I tried to make a pretty comprehensive Pistons video, I know, but yeah, we're looking. We're it's going to be a pretty crazy few weeks, I think. And I think the Pistons, I mean, I really have no doubts. This is, this is the vital part of the season. You got to get up in those rankings, stay up in those rankings. The hottest team in the East, best team in the East. Some people say being the best in the East doesn't matter because the East is weaker than the West. I don't know. This year, with the way the Pistons have been playing, and they've been playing the Western teams pretty good, but there'll be a test against the Oklahoma City Thunder, definitely the reigning champs. But excuse me, but yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Subscribe to Detroit Fan Forum. We got all sorts of stuff. We got merch coming out. If we get to 500 subs on YouTube, we're going to be giving away hoodies. We got all sorts of good stuff. More merch is coming. We're going to have some Hermdo guarantee shirts. We're going to have shirts with my big bearded fat face on them, so you can walk around with my face on your body. It'll look great. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Go Pistons.